Good morning, everyone. We are very excited to be here today, sharing my story of finding a job for you all. Thank you all for having us. I'm Jake Banbury, and today I want to share my journey from my younger days to where I am now. It wasn't always easy, but I've come a long way. As a kid, I lived with my mum and dad, and things were generally fine. However, there were a few bumps along the way. At 5 years old, I ended up in the hospital because I actually fell down the stairs when my mum dropped me, and I had both my legs in hospital in the air like that. Then when I was 13, my friend accidentally hit me with a golf club, leaving a scar on the right side of my face. I remember going to school afterwards, and everyone asked me, "What happened to your face?" And I said, "I got whacked in the face by a golf club." School and college weren't a breeze for me either. I struggled with my dyslexia, which required extra support in maths and English classes. Despite that, I was placed in a higher year group for my strengths in maths and English. During exams, I needed a quiet room because I couldn't focus in sports school with my classmates. Unfortunately, this also made me a target for bullying and people taking advantage of me, which continued even after school and college. At college, I discovered I had autism, and initially it wasn't easy to cope with. I've learned to manage it well. I enjoyed my time there, studying subjects like maths and English, IT and work experience, and also work and diploma. During my college days, an opportunity arose to work as a football manager at ASHLEIGH Football Club. I took it up and I've been there for 8 years now. It's not just about watching the fans, I've had some significant responsibilities there too. One day, as a porter had a heart attack in the stands and my manager was dealing with something else at the time, I had to act quickly. I ran to get help, called for a medic and did CPR and got an ambulance for the person. Thankfully, he made a full recovery, and he even sent me a letter to express his gratitude. This experience taught me the importance of first aid training and being prepared for unexpected situations. Throughout my time at the football club, I've also worked in different retail jobs. The first COVID lockdown was challenging. Everything was closed except essential shops, and it felt like a ghost town walking to work for a deserted town. During that time, I lost my granddad and couldn't attend his funeral due to COVID restrictions, but we had a memorial later on for him. Tragedy struck again when my older brother passed away due to depression. It was tough to deal with, and it took a toll on my mental health as well. Recently, I was diagnosed with depression, which was hard to share with my family. However, I've received immense support from my managers at both my jobs, the football club and ASHLEIGH, where I work too. Despite the challenges, I've generally enjoyed working at both places. My main goal now is to overcome depression and find happiness again. It won't be easy, but I believe it's like climbing a mountain with your troubles, taking time to get to the top. With the right support and effort, I'm on the right track, and I hope to regain my true self and be happy once more. I'm now going to pass over to my colleague ASHLEIGH.
Hi everyone, I'm ASHLEIGH, and I'd like to share my story with you too. I started working in social care over 20 years ago as a support worker, and then decided to become a learning disability nurse. And about 13 years ago, my first job as a learning disability nurse was at a hospital called Winterbourne View. Some of you might know what happened there. It was terrible, and I blew the whistle there 8 weeks after I started. I just qualified, and Panorama came to make a documentary. It was a really, really difficult time, but ever since then I've wanted to work towards a future where we really respect people's human rights and that we're all really proud that we're different, because I think it takes all of us to make the world go round. Now I work for Autistic Care Group with Jake as the Transforming Care Director, and we work to get people out of hospital who have been detained for very long periods of time and bring them back into their own homes. We've learned that it is always better to make sure that we are listening to what people really want, and that means that we're hopefully able to make a much bigger difference. I think it's really important, especially, to be proud of the fact that we all think differently, and that's why I was really excited to come here today with Jake. And so I'm neurotypical. That one. Okay, so here are a few faces that you might recognise, and just a few examples of well-known people who either are or very likely were autistic, neurodivergent. Albert Einstein, very famous scientist. We know he did a lot for humanity. Elon Musk, who is the reason that we all now drive these electric cars, and mine has been very close to running out of charge many, many times, but I trust his judgment. Chris Packham, who recently did a documentary. Do you remember what it was called? The documentary was Inside Our Autistic Minds, where he did some stories and he followed a couple of different people. So just really shining a light. Greta Thunberg, who is, as you might know, a climate change activist, and Richard Branson, who is very, very open about the fact that he's got ADHD and dyslexia, and he's built one of the most successful companies of our time. So these people and the way that they think have changed humanity. So my big question is, why aren't we learning from them, and what can we learn? So we don't always talk about thinking differently in the workplace. And it's not often that we're seeing employers make work very accessible for everybody. And if it's not accessible, how on earth can we make sure that everybody's voice is heard? We're all good at different things. For example, I might be good at nursing. I'm really terrible with systems and processes. I don't always think logically, Jake, as you know. Jake, how about you? What are the things that you found out that you're really good at?
I know while working with CCG, I'm brilliant at PowerPoints, as Ashley here already knows that. Doing the condition payrolls every morning while I'm in the office sounds daunting to do, and it is, but that's okay, as if you make a mistake, you can let your manager know, then everything will be okay. Since I've done payrolls, I've not had any conditions ringing to say that they haven't been paid, so I'm doing a great job so far. Recently, I've been doing our condition profiles and take the information from our shared drive and put it onto the condition profiles. So, for example, their ID passports, CV application forms, and their trainings that they've completed. And then I tell Maya, our head of trainings, which training courses have expired or are nearly out of date, and let her know. I have also been doing archiving and scanning paperwork, and making sure that it's all been processed and everything is put onto our shared drive. And then when we have a CQC visit and the inspector asks to see a family's daily notes and been referred for a certain date, I have to make sure that it's being processed and checked before the person sees it.
So why do we take it so seriously? At Autistic Care Group, we work with a lot of autistic people who are struggling with their mental health, and it's really, really important for us to make sure that we understand how people are really feeling, and how we can improve things. And we also knew a few years ago that our organisation was growing quite quickly, and we needed help with lots of different elements, in particular with data, systems and processes, enabling us to make an impact for everyone. So Jake, you were introduced to us by a company that we worked with doing apprenticeships, and they mentioned a year ago, it's just been just over a year, hasn't it?
Yeah, last Wednesday was exactly 12 months since I started.
And the organisation mentioned that you were looking for work experience, and a week later you came to the office for a chat and you came to see what you thought of it all. And the following week we had an interview. You smashed it. How did you find the start of work in the Exeter office, Jake?
I remember being nervous and hardly speaking to anyone during the week and wondered, how's this week going to go for me? How would I fit into this job role and into this job? Gradually, as the days went, I became more confident with learning in what everyone does in CCG. And I remember saying to our work colleagues, Chantal and Chloe and everyone else in the office, saying, I'm going to guess how old you are and who you would look like as a celebrity. And everyone found that funny. Oh no.
Yeah.
No, was it?
There you go. Oh, come back. I need to scroll it down for you. Ooh, we've lost the mouse now.
It's got all the other screen.
Oh, was it?
That's okay. See if we can get it back. There we go. So which slide are we on? That one?
That's it.
And then let's go.
I can remember my mentor Mandy showing me how to do our commission payrolls for the first time, and she only used to show me once, and since then I have mastered conquered how to do the payrolls and know how important it is to do each day.
Okay. So these are some of the things that we implemented when Jake joined us, because we know reasonable adjustments are very, very important. And ACAS defines them as changes that an employer makes to remove or reduce a disadvantage related to someone's disability or difference. For example, making changes to the workplace, changing working arrangements, finding a different way to do some of the tasks that we've got to do. So, Jake, when you arrived, we had a flag system that you wanted to have in the office. We had a traffic light system that has become very popular across the whole company and all of our different offices and branches. We would have a daily huddle in the morning where we would all kind of decide who was going to do what for the day. Hybrid working was a quiet space, regular check-ins, and just being really, really clear about goals and expectations in the morning. Jake, there were a couple of other things you wanted to explain.
So the first few weeks when I was there, I didn't really start as well as I hoped I thought I'd do, working in the office. So I asked my manager about maybe having a stressful or kind of like an octopus to show whether I'm octopus being happy during that day or whether it's sad, and they would understand why I'm feeling like that. I felt like the stressful was quite helpful, just in case the workload I'll be doing is quite stressful. I found that was very helpful for me. So here we have our traffic light system, which we use every day we're in the office. The numbers are from 1 to 5, how open we are to speak to everyone. 1 being not wanting to speak to anyone at all, and 5, you want to tell your work colleagues everything. Our traffic light system colours are red, amber and green. Red being I don't want to talk to anyone, amber I'm feeling okay and not okay, and green being happy as Larry and feeling happy. It's very important for us all to be honest as a group with how we are. It also lets us ask each other why we aren't feeling okay.
So what have we learned? In the last year, we've learned that it is possible to be inclusive, and it doesn't take a huge amount to think outside the box. Our whole team grew through this approach, and actually some of the things that we implemented gave some of our more introverted colleagues just that space to talk about how they really felt. So it helped everyone. We got much better at certain tasks, like our processes. We learned that a one-shoe-fits-all approach doesn't work. That clarity and understanding is really, really important. We built stronger team relationships. Everyone's got a pathway, some kind of bright futures for everyone. And the biggest learning was that this is an understatement, we were rubbish at processes before Jake arrived. Got it?
My daily challenges me facing my autism, I struggle to sit still most of the time, and I get distracted quite easily. I daydream sometimes, my mind is somewhere else. I cry about things that could literally be about anything, like, for example, I don't believe in myself as often as I should, as often as I should do, in terms of doing something amazing and conquering things. For me, also, I don't like surprises or changes that happen in the office, like when a member of staff is ill or have to leave the business or move to another business in a different area. So I would want my manager to tell me in a clear and calm way, as early as possible, to allow for the change to be adaptable for myself and to understand what is happening. If someone in our office became overwhelmed or agitated, they may want to speak to a manager or work colleague in a quieter environment and talk about ways in which that person copes and how you can help them. One person may prefer some alone time, while another may appreciate a supportive or soothing approach from someone they usually feel at ease with. Are there any misconceptions about autism? I would say yes, as people don't know about it. They think they do, but actually they don't, if that makes sense. They think, oh, that guy is okay and he's normal and fine, but deep down he's not. I remember this saying in my head, remembering I can't do tasks, I have autism, whereas now I have autism and I can do things. So our message to other employees is simply just do it. Give the person the chance. Not everyone is the same. We are all different in different ways and have different things in us. But we always work to our best abilities every day in our job roles at our workplaces. Companies should take a chance on people who have autism and watch as they grow in their job roles, because you would be surprised to see how well they work. Yes, they may struggle at the start, but give them that time and guidance, they can make a difference to your company. As an organisation, we have a big focus on apprenticeships and work with a company to facilitate apprenticeships. Where would I like to be in the future? I would like to appear on TV and be on a programme, or like BBC iPlayer, and to do a documentary on my story of my autism. But most importantly, how I've been over the last 8 to 9 months with my autism, anxiety, ADHD, dyslexia, and depression. And also to hopefully to run my own business. And also like to learn more about social media and marketing, and to help other people like me to get more confidence in and finding the jobs as well, and help neurotypical people to understand autism. My message to you is, my advice would be that I hope that everyone finds this inspiring, and how important it is because everyone is not the same. Everyone is different, but don't let it get you down. I would like to encourage everyone to embrace your differences and embrace your own challenges. Not everyone is the same, and we always work to our best abilities every day in our job roles at our workplaces. Thank you very much for listening. Does anyone have any questions?
And we're upstairs on level 4, aren't we? With a stand there if you want to come and have a chat. If you want to learn a bit more from Jake.
And I'll be happy to talk to you all.
Jake
You did great. That was lovely. I've got lots of pictures, lots of videos.
Just think there's a bit of fun from else.
Yeah, that's right.
Not my trend up as well.
Yeah. No, you did really well. Well done. You should be very proud of yourself. Well done, Jake.
Thank you.